What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG offices in New York City. You're watching the XMG Balance Test Pro Invite, a tournament involving 8 players on new maps that involve the balance changes Blizzard is currently considering.
Well, one new map. 2 maps that we've, of course, seen.
Well, new as in the balance changes have been
Yes.
added to them.
Yes.
But this specific map you're seeing right now, Altazim Stronghold, is a big one. It's very large. We saw it once in the last match. Again, the match we saw before this, DayZ versus... My mind is blanking me.
DayZ was up against Kas.
Kas. Yeah. DayZ versus Kas. Came to this match. DayZ took that game 3 pretty comfortably. Now we got another game 3 of a best of 3. Winner of this advances on to the next round of the XMG Pro Invite. Remember, guys, check out XMG. Also, huge shout out to Todd putting all this together. Cheery guy.
Here we are on Altazim Stronghold, the third and deciding game. Like you mentioned, winner goes up against DayZ in the semifinals. In our bottom right-hand location, representing Liquid, we have the German TLO.
The little one. Very creative guy. Nothing is not an option in StarCraft 2. He's done every strategy out there in the book.
In fact, even for him, nothing is an option. He will find a way to win a game with nothing.
He'll do the strategy that's not in the book.
Yes. Meanwhile, his opponent, the bottom left-hand location, representing Western Wolves, the South Korean Protoss, San.
San, very, very solid.
This is very
solid
interesting.
player.
I'm actually really curious why San's getting... I would think a Nexus first on this map would be almost like...
Proxy Stargate, of
given.
course.
You need to be scouting right now. Because the thing is you could go Nexus first in the back here, and then not even get a forge. You could go Nexus first in this gateway on top of this ramp.
Yep.
And so you could have an insane opening here. TLO is going 3 hatch before pull, which is exactly what you should be doing on this map. Because this is a very huge map, a very safe backdoor expansion.
Yep.
And San is actually getting the Zealot too. Wow.
And this is interesting because it's another game where there's
Look where the Zealots rallied. Does he think this is his entrance? Okay, now he's figured it out.
He's like, oh, that's a free expansion. That's a Stargate. I like that. Gonna get a very fast Oracle.
Yeah. We'll see what damage it can do.
I wonder what. Let's see.
I mean, Teal is gonna suspect it when he sees no Nexus here, right?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know his opponent's in the bottom left.
Well, yeah. Well, this orbital part actually just go all the way to the main.
Yeah.
So he'll realize there's a potential for something when he sees his opponent is there. We do see the scout going in from San, unfortunately scouting clockwise, which in this case is the incorrect direction for San. Meanwhile, 1 Zealot, 1 Mothership Core guard in the front. Oracle will soon be produced in the main base. Gas is starting to be mined from the little one. And the little one needs to get some queens on the field because if you just have drones, they do die very quickly to an Oracle. Here comes the probe. That has been spotted. TLO is going to notice 5-minute, or not even a 5-minute Nexus. He's going to notice no Nexus. He knows his opponent's over here now.
Yep.
And he still sees the lack of a Nexus. He's checking the other location.
He's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah,
this is a big map. People are supposed to expand and focus on their economy, yet where's your Nexus? What are you up to?
Is Over going to see this? Oh, this would be huge. He sees the Oracle crossing the map. That's a big advantage for TLO now. One thing he could do is because there's 3 bases in little defense, he could actually just not even mine from one of the locations. There's one option. Oracle is not going to kill your hatchery. You see he's getting Spore Crawler. Here's Spore Crawler in, what you could say, one of his 3 bases. Meanwhile, Oracle's going to try to pick off 2 drones. And that's it.
How fast he is.
Well, he might get a few more here. TLO.
Oh,
okay.
there is no security there at that natural, but the Oracle,
yeah,
unable to spot that.
I don't mind him delaying getting the Spore here because this is kind of in the back, so we can kind of see if Oracle's heading in this direction.
Yep.
This Oracle could pop back in there. There is a Queen to defend it.
But overall, TLO not really being abused for the fast 3 hatcheries.
Oh, he saw the second Oracle, so he knows there's 2. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really what San I don't see how he expects to do an insane amount of damage. But, you know, Oracles are now able to run down Queens much easier than they could before as well. I mean, they could always run down Queens. But if you get a couple Oracles... Ooh, there's a Spore Crawl there, though.
Looking in the direction of the Oracles there. Saying, stay away. Stay away, dudes.
Tealo going straight to Lair. Of course, Zerg anti-air that can be really mobile. You need to get Lair tech first. These Oracles activate their Pulsar beams.
Oh.
They're just going to go for the Extractor. Grabbing one or two drones. Two drones go down.
His defense is just a little bit too solid right now.
I mean, 2 drones. He wanted more than that. So far, he's got 4 drones total, and that's it. Really want to get more damage done. Meanwhile, a very fast third base from San. It's spotted by TLO. This is a very open base. So this is I mean, TLO could almost just... If he went straight for a Hydra bust. Okay, Oracle's popping back in here. It is a big map, so Hydras will cross the map very slowly, but he is going straight for the Hydra Den. And I do think given how late San's first base was, and how fast TLO is macroed up, you can see here on 52 drones against 35 probes, there may be room to just, you know, okay, he's getting more drones, so it's not going to be a Hydra bust. I do think he could have denied the third base, but instead he's going to play macro, play it safe. Just going to get a couple Hydras, but not the lifestyle 15 Hydra rush.
Might be anticipating some sort of Phoenix play too.
Yes.
Sometimes Protoss, after going for a couple Oracles, will start pumping out the Phoenixes. Get some damage done, but I don't know. When there's spores being placed down, obviously it's not going to be as effective as they could if they're just completely hidden from the beginning.
And also, with San taking a very fast third base, I think he just wants to focus on getting out an army.
Yep.
Because he's definitely worried about defending that location. Meanwhile, Speeding's coming in here.
Oh.
They may get a cancel on the... Oh, cannon not canceled. Gonna grab a couple probe kills. Meanwhile, Oracle's again going to main. Unable to get any additional kills. This is a revelation. Queens do have to be careful. Those Oracles could turn around and work down a Queen. Perhaps with little Transfuse Vabel, maybe a little bit more difficult. Meanwhile, both players are defending well. Teala now getting 14 Hydras, so a very delayed type of Hydra bust. But did he delay too much? Did he get too many drones? He's up to 68. I've never seen someone try a Hydra bust on this high economy. But he is getting roaches behind it, so maybe just some pressure, not really trying to just overwhelm his opponent early on. Perhaps a repeat of what we saw game number 1. With some Hydra pressure and behind it going into Tunneling Claw Roaches.
Certainly possible. Right now they're both on 3 bases. TLO might be thinking about getting a 4th fairly soon. I mean, and very late Evolution Chambers too, which is mildly interesting. Really prioritizing getting a bunch of units out and then the upgrades a little bit later. Prioritizing the upgrades that directly affect the specific upgrade units, like Roach Speed, and we see the Hydra range being upgraded there, Groove Spines.
Already has speed for his Hydras as well, so he can cross this map a little faster. Going in, even against Photon Overcharge, there's a lot of sentries there. He's going to go straight for the Nexus. Look at those Hydras. That Nexus is definitely going to die if he wants to focus it, which he is. Question is will he trade well? And it looks like he will. There's not too much here from San.
Oh, Hydras kind of backed into a corner here, and the Oracle is actually going to swoop in, activate the Pulsar Beams.
Oh, but more Hydras coming in from the back.
2 taken out.
Yeah, getting the Oracles.
So no one's going to die here. This isn't going to end the game. But Teala taking the 3rd base. It's nice. He lost all his Hydras.
Yeah, I do think...
overall...
I think overall Teala's going to be happy with that. If you look at this, he's still had a decent amount in economy. Of course, the probes, so the 3rd base can't be utilized as much. Workers killed, not very much from either side. Units lost is going to favor San, of course, with a superior number of Hydras being taken out, whereas the Nexus was one of the big losses for San. Teala does have a supply advantage, but remember, it is Roach Hydra against San, who's up to Colossi tech, with you know, Sentries and Immortals. So his army is much more dense as far as supply is considered compared to TLO's army.
Sure.
4th hatchery going down for TLO.
All right, there we see Roach Speed. We got Tunneling Claws, I should say. Well, I call it Roach Speed now because roaches are faster when they're burrowed.
These roaches are ninjas when they're burrowed.
Track
It's
athletes.
going to be reminiscent of sandworms from Doom when you have a horde of roaches pouring across the map. Definitely something on an open map like this. A lot of angles roaches can approach from. They can come in, of course, from this direction or from the top, both giant open areas. Something that's going to make it very difficult for San, maybe even to get a 4th base looking later down the road if TLO continues to use burrowed roaches as a big part of his strategy.
Okay, we're about to see it. They can now burrow. All these units can now cuddle into the ground and be warm. I think it must have been hallucinated something.
Yes, there's some scouts going down from San.
Infestation pit on the way too.
I think San knows exactly what's going on. He faced this in game number 1, almost exact same build order from TLO as game number 1. You know, delaying upgrades a bit, putting on some Hydras early, and then backing it up with Tunneling Claw roaches. Infestation pit, like you said, can provide infestors later on the road. But San is playing different in game 1. This time he has the Robotech. We'll see if this fares any better.
Remember, there are cannons there. That's the detection. And TLO is very indecisive, but now he's going in there trying to get underneath the Colossi, but the Time Warp is actually very, very effective. The Roach is getting underneath the army, going to unburrow underneath these sentries, and the Colossi going to target those guys down. But San might have been doing too much damage. I mean, TLO is still max. 1 Colossus taken out, but more reinforcements coming forward from San, and he should be able to preserve this 3rd base. Overall, I don't think that was a remarkable trade there for TLO.
You know, all the Hydras were dead by the time the Roaches got in there. I think you really want to make that happen. I mean, it's a unit's loss. It is almost 2-1 now in favor of San. The Colossi stay alive. He did get some of the Hydras and the Immortals, but for the entirety of his army, it's not clear that was worth it. Now, it's hard because maybe if he... I would have loved to see him poke in with the front and then meanwhile send in a pack of roaches to the main via the back way. Here he is again with a lot of burrowed roaches. Okay, showing some of them, hoping that his opponent is fooled. But no, yeah, it's going to spot the entirety. I do think he needs to back away from this.
Yeah.
No, he's actually going to go for it.
I don't know about using that to initiate the engagement, really.
Yeah, because even though they are much faster now unburrowed, they're still slower than your speed roaches unburrowed. Of course, move speed 3, unburrowed 2.25. When burrowed, Oracle goes back to the 4th base. Drones are falling.
I really like maybe if you attempt to counterattack with them.
Yeah, like I think this alley right here on the back is just prime.
Like while engaging from the right, burrowing some roaches and going into the natural or to the main.
And your engagement is kind of a fake. You just see back away as soon as you get the guys in the main. We're going to see, I think TLO is trying to look maybe to do that, putting on some pressure. Of course, behind us, he's going to Hive. So we could see Vipers come into play later, you know, Broodlord, Swarm Hosts. No Spire yet, actually. We do see a melee attack, so and an Ultras Cavern. So he's identified Stalker Colossi and is thinking, you know what's good against both Stalkers and Colossi? Giant Ultras.
Of course, some Infestors mixed in could be really good.
This is the draw strategy. Dun 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 dun. They all unburrow and get instantly slaughtered by a superior Protoss force. Colossi, Immortals, and tons of Stalkers. Just Roaches are no match for that type of force.
Yeah, and there's GG. He was trying for something. He was trying for the direct engagement with the burrowed roaches. I mean, I think it's situational. Like, if they don't have... Like, San had so many damage-dealing units in his composition. Like, Stalkers, Immortals, Colossi. I mean, I feel like if it's earlier in the game, there's a lot of sentries there, then maybe that could be good, kind of a thing. But otherwise, I would prefer maybe more counterattack type stuff.
Yeah, because if you think about it, TLO was on 4 bases behind that. And what's interesting is there may be potential in that Roach Max. But the thing is if you're going to do that, I think you have to just go for it.
Right.
Right? You know, 55 drone, 60 drone Roach Max. Whereas TLO was, I think at then he was about 75, 80 drones. So his Roach Max was later and it was much smaller because it's much more drone heavy. But on the flip coin of that, TLO had Hive. He had 4 bases. He had Ultras Tech going up behind. He had Infestors ready to go.
Yep.
And that's a situation where all you need to do is buy time to get those in action. And so a direct engagement may not be the way you Tunneling Claws in that situation. You know, like you said, maybe base racing, counterattacking. Because if he just hides his roaches in the corner of the map.
Yeah. I'm thinking just like 10 roaches, you go burrow those guys and swoop into the natural to the main. If they don't have detection, it's awesome. If they have detection, all right, it's 10 roaches. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily making it a core part of initiating. Or if you're like retreating and stuff, I think that's great. Or, you know, after the battle already happens, doing little cute tricks once that, you know, has occurred. But the way TLO was doing that, I don't think it was the most efficient thing. But I like that he's trying new things, and that's really cool. However, he's going to be knocked from the tournament. So San is going to move on to play against Daisy. in the first quarterfinal. Of course, now we have 2 more matches to go in the round of 8. Next up is going to be Morrow versus Destiny. And then it's going to be Straylock versus Rhett. So, guys, you're watching the XMG Balance Test Pro Invite presented by MLG and Maxotas, joined by Axlab. Just saw Son take down TLO and Daisy take down Kaz. Next up, it's Morrow versus Destiny. Don't go anywhere.